This 340 classic cover, much homaged, referenced in Deadpool Wolverine, the movie, early Todd McFarlane. There you go. Hi, I'm Glenn Simpson, and I've collected comics for over 40 years, and I'm showing off my collection one box at a time. Today, we're looking at box number 83. We're going to be smashing our way through Incredible Hulk. It's going to be the rest of Volume 1, picking up where we left off in the last video, and we're going to get into some of Volume 2. So we're going to be having a great time. Going to get our Hulk hands put on and look at some Hulk books. So thank you so much for being here. Please like and comment and subscribe. Those are really helpful things to get the channel known to other people. And if there's anything inside any of these packs that you'd like to see, be sure to let me know that in a comment. But in the meantime, let's get going with box 83. All right, here we go. Picking up where we left off from the last box, we've got Incredible Hulk 277. He is once again facing the UFOs, who are kind of takeoffs of the Fantastic Four, who he had faced earlier, and this is the second issue of that storyline. And we're going to jump a little to 281. Hulk in space. I believe, at this point, he's gotten Bruce Banner's brain. This is one of the times when that has happened. And so he is doing some space exploration, and things don't go well. And got 282. Which is a little bit of a higher price book these days, just because it is the first team up, if you will, of the Hulk and the She-Hulk, since she's always been generally, had her wits about her, and the Hulk has always been the savage beast. This was, it wasn't until he got control over the Hulk's body that they were able to sort of team up like this, and they're fighting a thing in the Avengers mansion there. So that's 282. 283, Al Milgrom cover. I believe this was leading up to a whole storyline about, is the Hulk going to get pardoned for his past, the damage he has done, based on the fact that Bruce Banner is now in control of his body and some things like that. Got Monica Rambeau, who was Captain Marvel at the time, and the other Avengers. Some good stuff. 287. So this character is named Barit, and they're going to be going up against MODOK, and she had first appeared in the Hulk magazine, the black and white Hulk magazine, and there was some stuff that happened in that in those stories that I think didn't really jive with normal continuity, because I think the magazine was trying to fit in better with the TV show in a way. The Hulk looked like the comics Hulk, but they were trying to kind of do something that was had a riff on the TV show. And so if I remember correctly, in the regular book, we find out that the Hulk magazine, those stories were like movies that she was making for her home planet. She's an alien, and so those stories didn't actually happen. They were the movies that she was making, and now she's come back to Earth and is meeting the Hulk or whatever. So that's 287. 288. We continue that storyline where she is where they're fighting MODOK. There's got an abomination there. Then we get to 292. Now the story itself, I don't know, he's fighting Dragon Man and stuff. But this is what I wanted to note. I've got some stuff that I would normally have all bagged up, but I've purposely left it undone. So if you've never noticed this before, so notice the corner box. You've got the Hulk with Banner's mind. He's working in his lab, stuff like that. All right, keep an eye on that. So 292. $293. Hulk is going up against the Thing and Mr. Fantastic, and oh no, he's kind of dropping his beaker and stuff there that he's got. Right. 294. Bruce Banner's having some nightmares about the Hulk, and the lab, the beakers and stuff are falling, and he's pulling at his shirt a little bit. $295. The beakers have pretty much are about to hit the floor, and he's really starting to pull at his lab coat. Meanwhile, Hulk is fighting Boomerang, the Spider-Man villain right there, who would go on to become Spider-Man's roommate of all things. It's kind of weird. Anyway, 296. Or 295, rather. 296. Hulk battling Rom. Rom was a toy created by, I think, because these things change hands, and so I get them mixed up. I want to say Mattel. I think Hasbro has it now. But, and Marvel was doing a Rom comic book about the character in the toy that was, the toy represented, and then Marvel would eventually lose the rights to do the ROM comic book, so they could still use the stuff they created around ROM, but they couldn't actually use ROM. And all of these books that he appears in can't easily be reprinted because they have to get the rights to do that. Now, they did get some rights fairly recently as of this recording, and they did an Epic collection or whatever Marvel does of the original ROM series and some things like that. But meanwhile, the beakers have hit the ground, and the Hulk is really tearing at his clothes now. See where this is going. This is all a reflection of the devolving of the Hulk back to the Savage Hulk. The beakers hit the ground. Hulk's really mad. He's tearing his clothes apart. And meanwhile, in the story, in a dazzling Bill Sienkiewicz cover, which actually that ROM cover was also a Bill Sienkiewicz cover, Hulk is coming face to face with his savage self. $298. Hulk's problems with maintaining his sanity are exacerbated by Nightmare getting involved, the Doctor Strange villain. And now the Hulk is pretty much torn off his shirt and stuff, and he's about to look just, he's starting to look more like the regular Savage Hulk. $299. He is out of control again, and on this Charles Vess cover, Doctor Strange is trying to stop him, and but up there he's looking more Savage Hulk. Sure. Until finally issue 300. He is just absolutely bonkers. He's beyond Hulk smash. He's, just a growling beast. And that's all reflected in that last corner box. So that was some mighty cool planning that they did there. Hulk versus pretty much everybody. Spider-Man's in his black suit at the time. I don't know if that was the Venom suit or just just the cloth black suit. But then at the end of this, Doctor Strange sends the Hulk to It's like a gateway, and it's like a limbo kind of where there are lots of gates, and the idea is hopefully he can go through one of these gates and find the happiness that he's been looking for. Clearly the first gate doesn't work out very well in 301, as Bill Sienkiewicz draws here. That's 301. 304, Mike Mignola of Hellboy fame, doing some of the art, and somehow, even though he's in this sort of interdimensional space, he kind of encounters some of the figures that he had run into in classic Hulk issues. But here he's dealing with some aliens. And that includes the UFOs. They're back. So the UFO, he fights the UFOs again here. Mike Mignola cover there. 308. Another Mignola cover. Kind of gets into this kind of savage world. There's at least one or two worlds in here where everything is as powerful as he is. So he kind of gets his butt kicked in some of these. 309. Yeah, these three things start to represent. This is where we're starting to get into the notion that there's more to Bruce Banner's fractured mind than just Bruce and the Hulk, as these things sort of represent aspects of his personality, and I don't think anybody else can see them, but he can see them. 312. Is he back? Nope, he's not back. He encounters the Beyonder, because this is a Secret Wars 2, so we get to see a little bit of the normal Hulk stuff, but he's still, jostling around in between dimensions and stuff. 313, there's a sort of space Ahab who kind of harpoons the Hulk, and the Hulk starts jumping through all these different, portals, trying to get away, and different creatures are trying to help him get unhooked from the harpoon. 313. But then a thing happens. So, John Byrne has been doing Alpha Flight all this time. He gets tired of doing Alpha Flight. The people that are doing the Hulk, like Mignola and can't remember who's writing, but they're kind of tired of doing the Hulk, so they just trade. And so Alpha Flight, those Mignola and them go over to Alpha Flight. So check out one of my, let's see, that would be LM box 7. Check out box 7 for the Alpha Flight side of that. And here we have the Hulk, Incredible Hulk side of that. So the Hulk gets split from Bruce Banner, and but without Bruce Banner being in there at all, the Hulk's out of control, kind of thing. 316. So everybody's trying to catch the Hulk because he's out of control. He's an out of control Hulk. Then John Byrne leaves that too. So we're back to we've got Al Milgrom on art for a bit, facing off against the 19 Doc Samson in his 1990s outfit. Right there. 321. The entirety of the... This is the point where they've, the Avengers West Coast had just recently started. So you have the Avengers and the West Coast Avengers getting together. Try to take down the Hulk. 324. So the first issue of the Hulk, he was gray, and he talked like a thug rather than a child, or whatever you want to say. And then they kind of realized that the gray wasn't really printing well, so they changed it to green, and they just sort of evolved his speech patterns into more of the Hulk smash. So, and I'm sure I'd have to look, but at some points I think they've shown reshown his origin, and then when they do that, they usually just kind of had him be green from the start and have him talk like that from the start. But what the writer did, I don't remember if this is Peter David, it probably is Peter David, is say, okay, that actually happened. And he turned into the Hulk at night instead of when he got angry. So they acknowledged that all of that was the case, and he went back into that form. And so that's what's happening here in Incredible Hulk 324. 325. Don't remember what all is going on because this is the 25th anniversary border cover. All of the books that month look like that. 328. So we've got Gray Hulk, aka Joe Fixit. He's working in a casino in Las Vegas as a bouncer. Steve Geiger art on that cover right there. 328. 329. So Rick Jones gets himself, who had been the Hulk's sort of sidekick back in the original series, gets himself zapped up good with some gamma radiation, and he becomes another Hulk. He's more of a long-haired Hulk. That's kind of how you tell him apart. But of course, he's a regular green Hulk. It's 329. 332. We got the leader causing the gray Bruce Banner as the Gray Hulk to fight Rick Jones as the new Green Hulk. Yeah. 333 there, and that is, if I'm not mistaken, a Todd McFarlane cover. So this is one of the earliest books he did for Marvel. So all you Todd McFarlane fans, doesn't that look like him? Let's see. Maybe not. I have to look it up. Hulk 336. Gray Hulk versus X-Factor. The original X-Men rebanded together. Uh, 337. Continuing that story. 339. Yeah, this has all been Steve Geiger. Okay. But you don't hear much about Steve Geiger. I don't know whatever happened to him, but he's a good artist. But we're going to get to the McFarlane stuff. I promise. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, so... in fact... Big boy book. This 340 classic cover, much homaged, referenced in Deadpool Wolverine, the movie, early Todd McFarlane. There you go. Big boy book. There. Alright, I got a few of those right here. Gotta make sure I don't forget them. 341. So, Hulk versus Man Bull. Did I show you that? Okay. 343. Okay, 343. More McFarlane, Hulk. 344. Right there. Not necessarily a key, other than just being a classic cover. Not sure if that qualifies, but anyway. 344. And in the top loader, got 345. There, getting kind of a reflection there in the camera. I worked so hard to get rid of the glare in the camera reflect. 345. Another classic cover. There. 346. So we've got Erik Larsen coming in, doing the pencils on a cover there. 348. So yes, McFarlane has moved on. Jeff Purves doing covers. There. 349. The obligatory Spider-Man guest visit. 352. 3, oh, beauty cover as it were, showing Banner transforming. 356. He goes out looking for a fight. 357. There. 360. Having another incident with Nightmare that we saw earlier. What is that on art? A reed. I don't recognize the reed. 361. Back to Purves. Fight some Iron Man there. All right, so we have some Walt Simonson covers. I can't remember if he was doing the interiors or not. And they're doing this countdown. Hulk has been poisoned. He's losing his strength. He's gonna die or something. And he's trying to take out all of his big butt, worst enemies before he goes, something like that. So here in issue 4 of the countdown, he takes out the Abomination again. Issue 3, he fights, this was at the time Ms. Marvel. What was her name? Sharon Ventura, I believe, had gotten super strength powers, and then joined the Fantastic Four, and then they went up into space and got re-exposed to cosmic rays. So the Thing got thingier, and she turned into a thing, and she wasn't very happy about it. Apparently they aren't getting along there. 365. but by 368, it's all over. Anyway, this is, what's his name? The Pit, the creator of the Pit, doing that. Keith, David Keith. No, not David Keith. Not David Keith. Not Keith David. Keith. You know, Keith. 368. $369. There, we've got, I believe it's Gary Frank. No, Dale Keown. Keown? Keown? Keown. Very Alan Davis-y looking art, which you're gonna look like somebody else. That's not a bad one to go with. 369. 372. Right there, we're starting to see a return, a little bit of a return of the Green Hulk. I mean, we've gone a long time without a Green Hulk, folks. As I was saying, the Hulk was gray for a very long time. 373, Gray Hulk and Betty, Betty Ross, you know, Bruce's former wife, kind of coming to grips with their relationship there. 373. 376. There we go. I don't remember if this is figurative or literal, but we're seeing a return of the Green Hulk. And all of that culminates in 377 with the return of the Green Hulk. This one's kind of shiny if I remember correctly. But the thing is, he has Bruce Banner's mind again. Or does he? Anyway, before we get into that, as far as this video is concerned, we have an interlude with Doc Samson, because the Hulk does not appear in this issue, dealing with a killer that he's trying to psychoanalyze, and it's a good story. And this is all Peter David, I believe. Rest in peace. Doing great Hulk work. 381. Smart Hulk, trying to kind of gets tied up in these Greek myth-oriented, named Agamemnon and things like that, Achilles and such and things. This organization. 381. 388. Speedfreek. Got the return of Jim Wilson, I believe his name was. He had sidekicked there with the Hulk there for a little while. Speedfreek would show up a couple of times as a villain. $389. Hulk going up against the Man-Thing there. 392. The Hulk's at odds with X-Factor. So X-Factor during all this time has evolved. It's no longer the original X-Men. It's kind of a secondary team of X-Men. 392. 393. It's the 30th anniversary issue. We got some foil going on. Another homage to the first issue of Hulk. There. 396. Teaming up with the Punisher. There. 397. 297. Hey, you guess who it is? It's the UFOs. They're back. For those of you who didn't realize that how much the UFOs bought the Hulk, it's a lot. 397. And issue 400, culminating this storyline. So Marlowe was the girlfriend of the Gray Hulk, who was a different personality than that of the Green Hulk that we have now. It's like as if they were two different people. And she winds up meeting Rick Jones, and they fall in love. And so they have a relationship. But of course, this Hulk's gonna try to take care of her as best he can. If she gets, kidnapped by the leader, whatever. So issue 400. Let's see, got 401. Hulk going up against the Ironclad from the UFOs, and we've got Gary Frank doing the art. He would go on to do, I always think of him on Peter David's, actually on the Supergirl series, the Matrix Supergirl of the 90s. So Gary Frank goes way back with Peter David. 401. 408. There. I can't remember who died. They might not even have died. They could be lying. 409. So funny thing. So this is Motormouth and I can never remember his name. Gun something. And they are from the Marvel UK line. And Gary Frank had drawn them over in that book before they Motormouth and Kill Power. That's it, Kill Power. So it's funny that they are using them here where Gary Frank is now drawing the Hulk. Probably not a coincidence. 412. Teaming up with She-Hulk again, who's in the midst of having her first, well, not her first series, her second series, the one that started with John Byrne, with breaking the fourth wall and all that stuff. And they're facing the Bi-Beast, who has two heads, but not where you would normally expect them. Um, 413. Hulk goes to space. Space. Some aliens. 416. There. So, Marlowe, turns out, has a past, and she made an adult movie, and somebody accidentally happens to pick that one movie for Rick Jones's bachelor party when they are giving him when he is about to marry Marlowe. So, oopsie. 417. Look at Cap. Good stuff. 420. So we found out earlier that Jim Wilson was HIV positive, and so this is an issue that focuses on he passes away from AIDS, which of course during this time frame was a more day-to-day issue that needed a lot of awareness brought out. So that's what they were doing here in issue 420. .421. Hulk going up against Thor and whatnot, except it's not the kind of the Thor that, you know, that Marvel's normally shows. It's actually as if, you know, they were starting over and being more true to the original myths. 421. 424. The Pantheon is that group that I mentioned earlier that he's associating with, and there he's leading it to some degree and that kind of thing. And there's lots of inter drama within that. Derek Robertson, who would go on to do the New Warriors in that cover. I'm not missing the next big boy book, 425. Another sort of homage to the first issue of Hulk. There. $428. Now we're into Liam Sharp. That might have been Liam Sharp too, but into Liam Sharp doing covers and artwork. I don't know if he's from the UK, but his name is Liam, so you know, I'm thinking so. There. $429. There. Remember why that tail will make you angry. $432. Hulk versus the Abomination again. The Abomination has kind of become a not good guy. I don't know if he's good guy is the right term, but he's sort of protecting some subterranean folks and things, and Hulk's like, I don't care, I'm still gonna smack you. 433. Ooh, Terry Dodson art. Hulk hanging out with Punisher. Over the Edge. Marvel Edge. Kind of broke all the books into little groups for a while. 440. Angel Medina, if I'm not mistaken, who would, doing the art on here, fighting the way. This is what Thor looked like at the time. 40. $441. Just another classic cover. This one being an homage, of course, to Pulp Fiction's movie poster featuring the She-Hulk or Angel Medina. $442. She-Hulk and that's some big arms, man, on Doc Samson, but 442. Hanging out. It's Doc Samson and She-Hulk together. 448. So Mike Deodato comes on, or Mike Deodato Jr., if I'm not mistaken, because I think the father was also an artist. He would go on to do, he had been doing some Thor, or would do some Thor. He did a lot of Wonder Woman. I'm picturing him drawing Elektra. So he does the ladies. And then next issue is a little thing. 449 introduces a little group known as the Thunderbolts. Right there. Of course, the Thunderbolts have a secret. You don't find out their secret until the first issue of their series, which is their next appearance. So I won't mention it here, but And it's a different team than, you know, the movie, but of course this is a big boy book because it is the first appearance of a group at Marvel called the Thunderbolts. So there you go. 449. 450. So everybody thought that Fantastic Four and the Avengers were dead, and it turns out they were just in another dimension and had forgotten who they were, and were kind of their whole history had been rebooted. But there was a Hulk. We still had the Hulk in the main universe, and there was a Hulk in their universe, and that created kind of a bridge that Doctor Strange was able to leverage to to make contact and that kind of, and something along those lines. So the versions that were appearing in these other books that were not really a part of the main Marvel universe anymore got to make an appearance here. An Incredible Hulk, 450. 452. Hulk versus a Hurricane. We're getting back to something a little more pragmatic. 453. So Hulk versus Hulk. Again, so the Hulk from the Heroes Reborn world versus the Hulk from the regular universe. Hulk on Hulk action. 456. Dip our toes into a little bit of X-Men mutant action. Apocalypse, the X-Men foe, brings in Hulk as his new war for Horseman. There. For a storyline. And Juggernaut is going to try to stop him. Here, Adam Kubert on art. I have a bad habit of always just saying Andy, but I'm pretty sure that's Adam. 460. Bruce Banner is back. Now we got credits. That's very helpful. Peter David has still been writing all this time. And I believe this is where we find out that this last Hulk that was the Hulk with Banner's mind wasn't really the Hulk, or it wasn't really Bruce Banner. It was just another personality that was acting as if he was Bruce Banner. That may be in a future storyline where they reflect back on this and say that. I don't remember, but that was later established. That was established at some point that the Professor Hulk was not really Bruce Banner, even though it had kind of said it was. Just because it was smart and, you know, talked like a normal person didn't mean it was Bruce Banner. 460. $461. Little beauty cover there. 464. Teaming up with the Silver Surfer. Maybe team up is not the right word. Rick Jones is back. Mike Maringo doing a cover there. Mr. Fantastic. 469. Fighting the what's he called? The awesome android? Oh, Super Adaptoid. That's it. There was another, Super Adaptoid. He's the Marvel version of Amazo over at DC. He has the powers of an android with the powers of various superheroes, usually the Avengers. 469. got the Circus of Crime. Peter David is left. We've got Joe Casey, Ed McGuinness, 470. 474, which is another homage to Hulk #1 and the final issue of the Incredible Hulk Volume 1 right there. Then, of course, we have some annuals. We have Incredible Hulk Annual 5, which is the second appearance of Groot. So Groot was originally showed up in, I don't know what issue it was, but in one of the older 1950s, 1960s issues where it was just, he was a monster that came to Earth and people had to figure out how to drive him away. That was the general plot of a lot. In fact, that's what a lot of these are monsters from those older issues that came back. Groot, of course, got, had a lot more done with him later, to say the least. But that is Hulk Annual number 5. We've got Hulk Annual 6. This would probably be, if the last one, this is the second time one of these cocoons is opened, then this may be the first appearance of her, the female version of Adam Warlock, who was seen in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, although they were treated as if there was a whole race of them there, whereas, here there was only the 2 of them. I say that, although it makes me wonder, why is this not more expensive? It makes me think that's not who's coming out of there. But anyway, Doctor Strange, stuff like that. This one takes me way back. I don't think this is my original copy, but yeah, this was one of my earliest Hulk books, and so I discovered Sasquatch, weirdly enough, right about the same time as I was discovering the Hulk. Sasquatch gets assigned as part of Alpha Flight the task of going out and, catching the Hulk. So they have a rock'em sock'em fight there. Issue 9. Kind of a Steve Ditko cover there. Hulk gets tied up with some sort of chess-oriented, rich, criminal-y guy. Issue 12. Brent Anderson cover on that annual from that year when all the covers looked kind of like that. And doesn't do you much good to help remember what's going on inside. But there you go. 13. I think this is from the going through the portals and into various worlds time frame there. Then we jump to 16. We're in the Gray Hulk period. Life Form, part 3 of 4. So this was this was during the period when a lot of times the annuals, like 3 or 4 of the annuals, would have a single story, kind of a crossover kind of thing. The actual characters whose annual it is may not even meet. So I think this critter, was born in part 1 and got bitten. Somebody fought it in one annual, and then it got a little bigger, and then kind of that kind of thing. That was Life Form. Annual 16. Similarly, issue 17, the Subterranean War, part 2, Tyrannus. I think what happened was Tyrannus was a guy who claimed, was from an underworld of the an underground world, and Mole Man was also, of course, from the Fantastic Four and from an underground world. And somebody said, "Hey, they ought to probably fight." So that's what's going on here. Got Betty Ross, who dyed her hair blonde and kind of unbuttoned her blouse a little. Anyway, issue 17, issue 20. Don't remember exactly that one, but it's got the Abomination in it. From the years when they didn't number them, they just put the year on there. 97. Hulk dealing with, I guess that would be, that's Artie and Leech, who were hanging out, mutants who hung out with X Factor at the time. Little kid mutants. I don't think that's Franklin, so I think that would be just a kid they met, or that might be a representation of little young Bruce Banner. 97. 98. The Hulk and the Submariner teaming up. This was the year when they were really, like, the annuals didn't seem necessarily match up with a book, so you kind of just put them with whichever book, whoever's name comes first. That's where it goes in my world. Alright, so then we start moving on to the next series. Now, the next series started off as Hulk for a few issues, all of 11 issues, and we saw those in box. Let's see. That's like literally, that would have been in box 80, and then it turned into, got renumbered again, or not, it didn't get renumbered, it got renamed as Incredible Hulk. So, and I don't know why I've got the wizard here with I guess in the indicia somewhere it must say Incredible Hulk. But this is a special Wizard, send away for it issue that came with Wizard magazine. Right there. And then, yes, we pick up the story with issue 12. Hulk is, we're starting to really get into multiple personalities. This for Bruce Banner. There. Got a sort of, this is I think the Titan Hulk or something they call it. It's the Hulk that's the worse than the Savage Hulk kind of thing. 17. Some guy gets made into a army Hulk. This is not one of the regular Hulks. Issue 18. Thunderbolt Ross trying to capture the Hulk. There. 20. So in Hulk's brain, you've got all these various Hulks, some of which we've never seen since. Clown Hulk, kind of almost like a multiversal sort of thing, but they're all just in his head. Got Kyle Hotz doing an issue, bringing back the Gray Hulk and some aliens. Maximum Security was a big crossover where the alien race, or the big alien, space, like the Shi'ar and the Kree and whatever, they just said they're going to put all their criminals on Earth. Because, let us deal with them. So, it's issue 21. 26. Kyle Hotz. Sean McKeever. Writing. There. Sam Keith. That's the name I was trying to remember earlier. By not thinking about it, I can think about it. 37. Another Bruce Jenkins. Paul Jenkins. Romita Jr. Cover. Issue 32. Spiffy. Another homage to Hulk #1. There. By Haberlin. There. 33, which was a 100-page monster. So various books around this time would they would tell a new story, and then they would have a couple of reprints towards the back included. Got Christopher Priest writing, John Bogdanove of Superman, the Man of Steel fame. We've got what's his name? He's from 52. The cover artist from 52. The cover there. And 35. The Enough Said issue. This was a thing they did in a few comics where there was no dialogue. You figured it out from the pictures, and then they put the script in the back if you really wanted to know. But all the letterers got the day off, got the month off for that. 36. Bruce Jones, I think it is, doing a very horror-oriented, before Immortal Hulk, a horror-oriented thing. I think it's Car Andrews doing covers. Not really signed. Or is that? Yeah, no. I think Car Andrews. But Incredible Hulk. 36. 42. Yes, Bruce Jones. Look at me remembering stuff. There. 43. This was an arc that had it had the Absorbing Man, but he was not like any Absorbing Man we'd ever seen before, and I think most people kind of like to ignore how he was depicted there. That's not our Absorbing Man. Issue 43 through issue 48, right there, and that is the end of this box. Okay, so that was box 83. Next time, we're going to do box 84. We're going to finish up Incredible Hulk and have some one-shots and miniseries and things like that. And then we're going to get into Infinite and Infinity, alphabetically speaking, in that next box, in box 84. So I hope you'll be here. I'm so glad you were here for this one. Thank you so much. Have a great day.